Hey everybody, this is Kebie coming in from North Carolina. We've got a guest here to tell their new distributor training story from all over. I won't take from the guest stories, but what we're going to be sharing on this Zoom with you is the new distributor training and how we have been implementing this on our team and how it's helping people have breakthroughs, truly stay accountable, and really game changer stuff. I mean, these testimonies are going to be very empowering to you. This is what I believe. You've joined network marketing. Chances are you don't have any sales experience. You may not have any business experience, and it takes skill to win. If you're going to go to be a realtor, you go through school. If you're going to be an insurance agent, you go through school. If you're going to be a nurse, you go through school. If you're going to be a teacher, you go through school. Everybody has a trade, they have a skill set. And that's why I believe this new distributor training is helping people develop skill set and keeping them in the game long enough to inspire them to hold them accountable to do big things in their business. So that's my personal belief. But now I want to share some stories of folks who have trusted me to implement this on their teams and how it's impacted them. We're going to start with Brantley. So Brantley, if you'll unmute and just let us know who you are, where you're dialing in from, and then we'll get started.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name's Brantley Taylor. I'm dialing in from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And I've taken the new distributor training, but specifically with the cycle sheets. It's meant a lot to my business as I'm starting to generate leads, and it does hold you accountable because when you have to bring a cycle sheet back to a group of people, it inspires healthy competition. And the main thing about that is you don't want to bring an empty sheet. So it inspires you to pull from your list, and not that you're contacting the same people every week, which is a great thing too. So you don't wear anybody out about, we know how great our product is, but we still at the same time don't want to wear people out. So that's what the cycle sheets help with, to keep your people from your master list in an orderly fashion. We're using them now. I'm passing them on to people as they come on to, showing them how to use it, but encouraging them to take the new distributor training, and it's already paying dividends. One of my newest teammates today had a great breakthrough where he finally, broke the barrier of the fear of rejection. And I think it was a combined team effort where he made a call today and just realized how much people need this product. So it just lit another fire under him, and he's ready to go. But this is someone who came up on his cycle sheet, and it was just time to contact them again. So I encourage anyone to use the cycle sheets, to your advantage. Again, we're all given tools, but if they just sit in the drawer, they do us no good. And we all want to be successful, and we all want to win. And these, just inspire, again, healthy competition. You don't want to have the lowest sheet. And I've set a goal for myself that within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to fill up a cycle sheet, an entire cycle sheet in the whole period. And, it's the law of averages. The more people you introduce this to and the more people you share this with, it's going to work out. But the cycle sheets are just a great form of accountability, and they also help keep you organized. And those are the two biggest things I like about them.
Well, Brantley, let's talk about how you got started in October. And then you were hustling, working it, trying your best, but you were texting me every week, Kebie, I'm here, I'm trying. I know it don't look like it, but I'm trying. And so I felt your heart. I'm like, I know you're trying. I know you're not lazy. I know you want to win for your family. So I said, let's try this. Let's meet every week. Let's bring our sheets. I'll fill mine, you fill yours, and let's just encourage each other. Talk about that, because sometimes we forget where we were, and talk about how this accountability has inspired you really out of the doubt, out of the rejection of, could you do this or not? Were you really a fit here, and how you built belief over just 3 months of doing cycle sheets with me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when I first started, it was, the classic mistakes, because I've done network marketing before, and it was, the diarrhea of the mouth and going too far and making mistakes and running into the discouragement. And so you would get frustrated and just stop. And right. Now using the cycle sheets, by you saying that, I was able to check in with you and you could feel that I was really trying and nothing was working, you know, if it's not working, it's time to try something different. Right. And I appreciated that by you reaching out and us starting the cycle sheets. You know, it has gotten me past rejection to where, you know, I was actually talking to Mignet about this today. Like, no's just bounce off of you. I mean, you acknowledge the no and you go on. And by having the cycle sheet, you have more than one name. You know, I used to concentrate on that one person, like this person would blow this business up. This person would do this. And you get that first no, and because you're not prepared with the list, you know, you're dejected and you don't want to do anything. So by implementing the cycle sheets, it doesn't limit your options, and you truly can persevere through rejection, persevere through downtimes, move past excuses, and go on and be successful. And that's what I appreciate. And that's the biggest change I've noticed is I've been able to generate leads and keep up with them and actually do a better job of following up with my customers. I mean, that's what I have to do, customers and prospects. You know, I have a bad thing about following up. You know, it's pride or whatever you want to call it. You know, a no would usually, you know, just shut me off. Like, well, fine, you said no, I'm moving on to the next one. But sometimes it's just a not right now, and I'm learning that through the cycle sheets. And sometimes those people even reach out before you have a chance to get back to them. But when they do reach out, you go back through your past cycle sheets and pull them back up and put them on the one for that week. And you keep them in an orderly fashion, and you know this is the last time I talk to this person. So it's helping to keep your business in order as well, and you know, to keep timely records and to stay organized. And again, you know, you never know who's waiting to see when you're going to quit. And I think the cycle sheets help with that as well, to say, you know, man, this person's been checking with me every 2 weeks. He must be serious about this, which some people that I've talked to before was like, you know, you stay on top of what you're doing. I said, yes, exactly, I do. And they noticed that because I've done network marketing before in the past, and I haven't been that thorough with my follow-up. So as far as follow-up, the cycle sheets are a tremendous help to me, and they are actually helping me grow my business.
Right, and showing your prospects that you're serious.
Yes, absolutely.
Seriousness. So, Brantley, thank you for your honesty, your transparency. What would you say if someone's watching this and they're like, do I really need the new distributor training? Do I need the cycle sheet training? What would you say to them?
I would say absolutely you need to do the new distributor training as well as the cycle sheet training. Again, the biggest part of it is organization and accountability. You know, hold yourself to, you know, a greater standard, and don't focus on where you are now, focus where you're going to be. Right. And think about when you have a team of 20 or 30 people, if it works for you, then you can pass it on to them and back to duplicating everything you're doing and pass it along and creating a culture of success. So absolutely, I would say you need to take these things if you want to have success.
Well, Brantley, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be seeing you soon in Tennessee. Thank you again for sharing.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Okay, so now let's move over to Vicki. And Vicki actually has Helen, and they're on the same team.
Yes.
And they started the new distributor training, which is the cycle sheets as well. Mm-hmm. But we are going to be talking to them and their experience and story. They've had, just like Brantley, major breakthrough. And Helen has actually gotten back extra money on her taxes because in the 6-week program, you also learn tax organization, get prepared for your account. So Vicki, go ahead, just share like where you're from, and don't dive in yet. Just let us know who you are. And let Helen know, let everybody who she is as well.
Okay. Hey everybody, I am Vicki Hoke, and I'm out of Dallas, Texas. I've been doing network marketing for about, going on a year now. So I'm really excited to have done this training, and it has made a big impact. We'll get into that here shortly, but it's been invaluable already to my organization.
Okay, I'm going to let Helen just say who she is, and then Helen, I'm going to mute you back, and we're going to let Vicki just talk for a second, okay? 1 second. Go ahead, Helen.
I'm Helen Harper. I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and this training has helped me a whole lot.
Yes.
I'm going to get back to you. I cannot wait for you to share your story. Okay, I'm going to put you on mute. Okay, Vicki, you and I talked about the missing link. You were in inner circle coaching. We have multiple leads from your social media coaching. Your problem wasn't, gathering people, prospecting.
Nope.
It was the full circle. It was the follow-up. And then the fear of training your team, making sure they got in and they got the knowledge.
Yes.
And so in inner circle and through coaching, we determined the culture. Okay. So I want you to share. I'm not taking from your story. Guys, please listen and take notes. These are major breakthroughs. Vicki's story is so inspiring, not only just from her Zija product story, but full circle to now even Helen taking training with us. So go ahead, Vicki.
So without really giving away Helen's story, my story is I came in on the product side, but I quickly realized that I wanted to do the business side. So I had to learn this thing called network marketing, and the culture that I learned, there's nothing wrong with it. The culture that I learned was face-to-face. The problem with that is that the face-to-face conflicted severely with my humongously busy work schedule. I do 13, 14 hours a day. So it was impossible for me to do that. So I'm going to kind of go back into October. I had a meeting with Kevin Mullins, the great Kevin Mullins, and I told him my fears, my frustrations with trying to grow locally and grow locally, build globally. I think that's the saying. And he told me, and this man, as you know, is not on social media. He says, Vicki, you know what you got to do is you got to sow your seeds elsewhere. You got to plant your seeds elsewhere. So he told me to take advantage of the social media. So kind of jumping a few steps, I took the social media. Well, again, I didn't have the problem with people contacting me. What I had a problem with was applying the culture that I had been taught against all the interest that I had in my product, my services, that kind of thing. And it was just frustrating. So I had contacted Kebie about doing breakthrough training. I actually was not supposed to be doing inner circle right away, but I told her my frustration that I just felt like I was losing people in the cracks. I couldn't keep track of them. I had been using her cycle sheets. I kind of stumbled upon them before the social media training, tweaked it a little bit so that I could put some little reminders, but I truly didn't know how to work the cycle sheet, how to integrate the cycle sheet. When she asked me if I wanted to bring my new distributor or come to new distributor training, I jumped on it. The new distributor training is key, and I don't even call it new distributor training. I like to call it distributor training, because what this training does is it gives you everything you need to get started, to know the right way. And again, nothing wrong with the culture that I was taught before, but it couldn't apply because I'm a hands-on person. I'm a person that likes to see data in front of me. So to have the YouTube video that tells me how to get started, how to do this, how to look at my back office, how to do this, and it was key. So I sat down with Kebie, and one of the biggest things for me was the cycle sheet. The cycle sheet, when I realized how to work my cycle sheet, that this cycle sheet is my working list for the week. It was humongous for me. I used to be scared of this sheet. I was terrified of it. I didn't want to do it. When I sat down and Kebie said, this is a working list. There are going to be people that are going to be, they're going to be missing in action, that are going to just be not right now or what have you. And that also helps you to deal with the rejection. You know what I mean? So that was key. The biggest thing for me, and I know, again, with the new distributor training, is the master book. The master list, and these go hand in hand. So this is my working list. This is my master list. This is the nucleus of my business. And to be able to have been taught by Kebie that adding to this is what's going to build my business, it was key for me. I look forward to adding to this book every day. So my culture is when I get somebody on my list for the week, whether they're cycle back or circle back or a new distributor, I'm looking at this list and then I'm putting them here, but I'm also immediately putting them here, building my list. So the new distributor training for my organization, I expressed interest in Kebie because I was very impressed by the blueprint that she had laid out, the training, the compassion, the patience she had with everyone. And I told Helen, who was on my team, and I told Helen, I said, look, we are both going to go through this training, and I don't want you to feel like you're new, because really we're both new. We're learning a whole different way of things. What we also learned with new distributor training, Kebie, was this is a culture. I finally understood what creating a culture is. So my team going forward, and I have the support of my upline who taught me the old way. I talked to him yesterday. He fully supports me. So our culture is we are going to be instituting this distributor training. I call it distributor training because anybody can go into it.
Right.
And we're going to teach them the right way. But if everybody is learning the new distributor training, whether they're new or old or in the business or what have you, the duplication is endless. Yeah. Helen already says, hey, when my team starts growing, these are going to be things they're going to be required to do, because it's not that you have to do it, but we're going to encourage you to do it.
Right.
Because it creates duplication. It's just such a humongous tool. And I'm just excited that I was able to go through it. By Helen and I going through it, it also allowed me to recognize that as a leader, I needed to do a little bit extra with Helen, go over her cycle sheets with her, explain the cycle sheet to her, walk her through it. Helen now knows that this is her working list. And she now knows that when she adds to this list, everybody that's on here should be in her master list. And Helen is not, again, I don't want to toot her horn. I'll let her tell you her good news, but it's been key in creating, in starting the culture that I dreamed about, that I wanted, because the old way just kind of didn't work for me. But at the same time, we have to adapt to our situations, and this new distributor training fits my situation perfectly. I'm able to do it really at any time. If I have time, while I'm at work or what have you, I try to keep work at work, but I'm able to apply it. And it gives me a strong footprint, a strong blueprint on how to direct my team. It's also, oh my God, it's very validated. It's a very strong program. So that's something that we have already discussed. And again, this is a training that I will institute in our group, on our team, and I do have the support of my upline. So I'm very thankful for that, but it's been great. It's been great for me.
And so you said a few things. Number one, we call it new distributor training, but if you've never taken it, you're new. And secondly, if you can't train it and lead it, you're new. Some people will need to take it more than once. It is a 6-week program.
Yes.
It's ongoing afterwards, but there are 6 core skill sets. Meaning you will get a video once a week. When we meet in our Zoom sessions, you will bring takeaways and learn how to work your cycle sheet. So every week you're learning skill set that you need to apply to your business. Now, Vicki is going through the 6 weeks. She's on week 6 now. She will get her certification and graduate. If she's ready, she will then start her own. But everybody's different. You may need to go through it again until you can learn to lead. But what Vicki said, it's really not new distributor training. It's creating culture and duplication training.
Yes.
That is the title of it. It
Yes.
truly is, and it probably will evolve to that. We just use the language of new distributor because it helps a new distributor identify what this is. But it truly is creating culture on your team, duplication. Now, Vicki, one thing before we go to Helen.
Okay.
Just two parts. One, you took my social media training and you're recommending everybody start with that and breakthrough on your team and then through new distributor.
Yes, very much so, because these are things that, as we all know, even if you are not internet savvy, the internet is where it is. Everybody is on the internet at some point in time. So it's critical that social media, now they will have to gauge where they're at socially, because some people may need to come in with the intro, but that gives you, there's nothing wrong with that, because what that does is that gives you a leg up when you come into the social media. So you're prepared. That's one thing. The breakthrough, it was huge for allowing me to get through a lot of the things that were in my way. Rejection, overcoming rejection, overcoming this, overcoming that, and looking at myself raw, knowing that, and also putting a lot of belief in what I have. So the breakthrough training, so it's critical. We're definitely going to recommend, in addition to the new distributor training, we're going to say, hey, we're going to recommend you do these things to be successful. This is what you're going to have to do, because it's been proven. It's not something we're saying, oh, go do this. No, it's been proven. It's been proven. And it's been proven by Helen. And she's,
Well, it's been proven by you too.
Yeah.
But we want to share Helen's story here because, well, Vicki, go ahead and just share like your numbers. Going through social media, breakthrough, inner circle, new distributor, especially the new distributor training, full circle, how your business is growing.
The business is growing where I honestly almost can't keep up with it. I haven't had to reach out to people. I haven't had to do a cold call, but I'm learning to schedule people. I'm learning to text to schedule. I'm learning, I learned one of the hugest things that you taught me is to take control of that call, not so much to be forceful, but to take control when you first have someone contacting you. That's been huge. And I also taught that to Helen. That's been huge for her. So my numbers, wow. My numbers, I actually, well, I'll tell you, I did a Facebook Live, and if I'm not mistaken, I did it last month. It's got probably 1,000 hits, 1,000 views. So it's been crazy. It's been, with the social media, with the breakthrough, my name has thankfully gotten out there with a lot of positivity. So I'm thankful for that, because people relate to my story, but solely due to, and I give a lot of credit to your programs. The programs have catapulted me, because I know what to do socially. I know how to brand. Well, I'm learning how to put my brand out there. It's a learning process, because you got to keep remembering things that you should be doing, things that you shouldn't be doing, how to really drip on people, that kind of thing, the basic stuff. But the breakthrough, all of that has catapulted my business to the point where, I've actually had some very influential people in our business that have shared my story, have kind of reached out to me. So that, not tooting my horn, but that's paying homage to, the effectiveness of your programs. So I thank God for it. I thank God for you.
And you as well. So let's hear from Helen. Helen's brand new to the new distributor training. She's in week 6. She is literally breaking through. And I want Helen, you to talk about how excited you are that through social media and the new distributor training, you have started getting people enrolled. I mean, you've literally went from 0 to enrolling, and then your confidence. Go ahead. You share from your heart. Let me unmute you 1 second. Sorry.
Okay. I'm still excited. And first of all, I have to thank you for the training, because without the training, I was just sitting and I didn't have no clue to what I was doing, even though I talked to my mentor, who is Vicky. Vicky happened to be my cousin, and we talk all the time. And she was saying, she had told me about the cycle sheets, and she had told me about the training. And, I'm like, nah, I'm going to do it later. And I sit here and I prayed about it. And I'm going like, okay, I need to know how to do, in order for me to get this business off the ground or to start this business, I need to know what I'm going to be doing and how to do it right. So once we said and we talked, we went through the social media. I did the intro to social media, which has helped me a lot, because I didn't realize by being on social media that you're putting yourself out there, and everything on social media is not that you shouldn't be on social media. If you're on there, then you shouldn't be on there just agreeing to everything. You don't talk politics and you do not talk religion. I got that from you. So I have been going through and deleting things off of my social media. And to get back to the cycle sheet, which Kebie, I do have my cycle sheet. I have one on there. I was talking to Vicky, and after our last training, I told her, I said, Vicky, I need to know about the cycle sheet. I really need to know what I'm supposed to be doing, how I'm supposed to be doing it. I can put names down there all day long, but what am I supposed to do? So we sat and we talked for hours about the cycle sheet. I had no clue that anyone was watching me. This lady hit me up last Sunday, and she texted me. She said, and then her text was, she wanted to know, she said, I want to know what you're doing. I saw you. I've been watching you. I'm talking to Vicky, and I'm saying, Vicky, wait a minute, hold up. She's wanted to know. And I said, we can't let it. She told me, she said, don't let it go. Let's go ahead, call her. Let's see what's going on. And I heard what you were saying. Take control. Take control. Because me, I would have been just, rambling on. So when I did call her, I took control of the conversation. Hey, girl, how are you doing? What's up? What you been doing? And she's going like, I want to know what you are doing. And I'm going like, okay. First of all, let me send you. I said, well, do you have 20 minutes? And she said, yes. I said, well, let me send you this video. I'm going to send you the video. I'm going to call you back in 30 minutes.
Good.
And she said, okay. So the 30 minutes came. I like to be prompt. 30 minutes came. I called her. She proceeded to tell me, she said, well, look, can you call me back around 6:30? I've got death in my family. And I'm going like, sure. So when I called, I talked to Vicky, and I said, well, I understand people have death in the family. Some things come up that we can't help. So I did call her back at 6:30. And she told me, she said, I have not. She said, people's been in and out of the house. I have not had time to look at the video. And I told her, I said, okay. I said, I know you had death in the family, and I would love to talk to you. I said, would it be all right if I called you back Monday at 6:30? And she said, yes. I said, now I will call you back. She said, I really am interested in what you were taking. She said, that would be great. She said, make all the people be out of the house and I can concentrate on what I got to do. I feel good about that, because that was the first time I had ever talked to someone without just spilling over whatever I'm doing. So I said, well, I took control of that.
With confidence.
On the next, it was like on a Tuesday, another lady that texted me up and said, I'm ready to get the product. Mm-hmm. I immediately called Vicky and told Vicky, look, she wants to get this product. Okay, and I told her, I said, okay. So I told her, I said, here's a video, watch the video, call you back. And she watched the video. She said she didn't get to see it all. I went immediately, I plugged her, I plugged her, and Vicky did my call for me. She signed up on Wednesday. That was a 3:30 package. And you're talking about someone being happy. I am overly excited, and I'm still excited about that, because that's the first time that I really felt like I was being a business woman. That I'm going to follow back on that. But also, you taught us about taxes.
Yes.
And I tell anybody, this class is very important. You need to learn how about your taxes. There's a lot of things you can file on your taxes that you didn't really realize that you could. Without saying a whole lot about it, I filed my taxes, and I got $3,000 back more than what I would ever have gotten back for filing, going by the rules what you I'm following what you had told me. And I
Right.
give all thanks to you about that. I was so happy. The lady that was
Oh,
sitting there,
my
I was shedding tears, like, what did you say? What? Are you sure? And she's going like, by you having all this and by you having a business, you're getting back $3,000 more than what you got back last year. And I'm going like, for real? Are you serious? And she had to show me the paper 2 or 3 times, and I was just looking at her like, are you sure? And so she looked up my last year's, and compared to last year's this, she said $3,000 more. And I'm going like, oh my God, what number God? And I told her, look at you, man.
I want to ask you something.
What's that?
You came through the training. You
Yes,
had
ma'am.
you had filed your taxes. She had not sent them out yet, but you had done your paperwork. Then you watched the video in the new distributor training, and you called your accountant and said, whoa, wait a minute, I've learned this in this training. Can I really deduct this?
Yes. We
She
went
said
back.
yes. So you
went back
didn't
and
even
amended
have
my
all your
taxes.
receipts, right? You
Yes.
just did what you could do, right? So let's
Right.
ask this question. How long had you been in the business before new distributor training?
I had been in the business, well, I started the product in July. And by me telling, I didn't realize there was a business behind this until Vicki was talking to me. I was telling people at work about, oh, you know, this is the product I'm on and this. And she said, well, wouldn't you love to get paid? And I'm going to pay. She said, you do know that you can get paid for talking to, telling people about it. And I'm like, for real? Yes. So this was like maybe July, August that, I started July. So it had to be around August or September till I got into the business. But I was just as blind as I could be because I didn't have no idea what I was doing because I wasn't told that. All I was told was you need to put 10 names on the list and that's it. And I'm going like, okay, I put 10 names on the list. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So
So it's safe to say you'd been in the business about 7 months.
That's 7 months. And then when I started training,
nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
You go through new distributor training, things are happening. Okay. On top of that, you're getting back $3,000 that if you didn't take this training, you would not have gotten back.
No, I wouldn't have gotten it back. And what she did, she amended what I had already filed. She just amended that and went back in. And she said, when I told her, I said, I took the training and the lady that's coaching me was telling us that we could file this, and this. And she's going like, well, yeah, you sure can. I said, well, how can I still do it? And she said, bring the papers in. She said, all I want is the numbers, and we're going to go from there. She said, we amend it, and you will get this money back. And I'm going like, are you sure? And she said, yes. And I brought everything. I keep up with everything, receipts and everything anyway. So I took it in. She filed it for me. And she told me, well, you're getting back $3,000 more than what you was going to really be getting. I'm going like, oh, for real? I said, oh, that's Kebie's training. So I really am. This is a training that I invested in myself, and I felt good about investing in myself because now I feel like I'm moving forward to a business that I want. I want this because, I am overweight, but I'm not overweight. For my height, I am overweight, but it's more to that than that. It's because I know my family has a history of diabetes, and I don't want to be the next person. I'm not saying it's going to cure it, but it's going to help me. So this is my whole why I'm doing this, but I enjoy this. And this training with this coaching training that I'm getting now, I'm learning a lot. I can't wait. I just can't wait.
So Helen, if someone were thinking about the new distributor training, what would you say?
I would tell them, first of all, if I was talking to them about it, I would tell them, you need to take this training for the reason. You will find out a lot of things that you didn't know that you thought you knew, but you don't know in a business. Matter of fact, I had a young lady that I talked to but she was talking about she was trying to get her own business and she needed some coaching. And I told her, I said, I'm in a coaching right now. I said, call me and I'll tell you who it is. I said, she's coaching anybody. I said, but you need to take intro. I said, if you don't do anything, take the coaching for new distributors. I said, because, I've learned there's a lot else out there. You got to have a skill set in anything that you do. And if you don't have that skill set, you just are fighting a losing battle. So I had talked to her, I said, you need to take this. I said, because this has helped me a lot. I said, it has developed me to being more of a person than I used to be. I said, because I've never been a problem or have a problem with talking to people, but I just didn't know what to say.
Right.
I said, you got to learn what to say and how to say it. I said, because if you think of yourself, I said, I told Amanda, I believe, last night, I said, if you practice in the mirror or what you say, or you're going to say to somebody and record it and listen back, I always say, would I sell that? Would I buy that from me? No, I wouldn't buy it from me because you don't know what to say. But now that I know what to say and how to say it, I was like, yes, I'll buy that. I would like, well, how you do it? What you do? So yes, it's very important. And like I said to Vicki, when I start getting my people in, it's gonna be one of the things that you have to do. You have to take the coaching, and you have to learn the art of social media. Because if you don't know that, you'll be putting anything and everything on your page, and that's not where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so on that note, you talked about really the group session and how valuable that is, meeting each week and collaborating with other people all across the world. We have people in our groups from Canada, from North Carolina to Tennessee to Texas, and you're in Mississippi, right?
Right.
All over the place. So, and then it's just the way to network, collaborate, encourage, inspire. Like you were saying, you were talking to Amanda. So now you're helping to train people. So not only are you learning, you're helping to train. And yes, thank you, Helen, so much for your story, from speaking from your heart. Guys, this is a very conversational. We talked before. We don't script anything. This is truly conversation. Vicki, I want you to close us out with, because I know you are so excited about your new teammate. This was a big deal for you. You did not want to get people like Helen, who is family, into something with you that you couldn't help her succeed.
Couldn't help her succeed, and the reason was I wasn't succeeding myself. So if I'm not doing what I expect my team to do, it wasn't so much that, it was I didn't understand the culture that was taught to me. And that's okay. It works for a lot of people, but I needed a culture that, I'm a hands-on person. So I tell people, my advice would be, if you're a leader and you think you know the business, think about it in this way. I would prefer that me and my team, and upline, downline, I would hope that you would have the support upline, but I want to teach my team and I want to be on the same page. So if you have if you don't take the new distributor training, then everybody's not on the same page.
Right.
Everybody's not on the same page learning. You have people learning different ways. But if you create that culture from the bottom up, and they create their culture from the bottom up, then it deepens. And I'm going to tell you, Kebie, this is huge for me. I finally understand, in taking the new distributor training, I finally understand what creating culture is. That has been humongous for me. Creating a culture means that I want anybody who feels that they don't, in my organization, on my team, on my upline's team, if they feel like, and my upline has already said, hey, when are you going to start your training? Because I got 2 or 3 people I want to send through it. And a couple are new, one of them isn't, so it's about creating that culture, because being told that to go get your 2 and they get your 2 and they get their 2, that's not a culture to me. That doesn't tell me what I need to do and why I need to do it. Right. And it also, new distributor training teaches you everything from A to Z, the basic stuff, but it's enough, and it's enough meat in that tool to have everybody doing pretty much 90% the same thing. And if everybody is doing 90% the same thing in your organization, that's true duplication.
Yep.
So that's what I get from it. And I actually am going to go through it for everybody. I'm going through her training again because I want to get dot my I's and cross my T's before I start my training. But it's huge. It was huge. It opened up the world that I knew that was there. I knew this world was here. I just didn't know how to get to it at the time. Now that I'm in it, she's not going to get rid of me, that one.
So how empowering has it been for you to see your teammates succeed?
I want to cry. I want to cry. I really want to cry because and I got to tell you, Kebie, it might have been January. Helen and I were talking, and I was getting a lot of people interested in me from social media, getting a lot of hits, a lot of interest in me, but I still didn't know what to do. She said, she told me one night, she said, look, I'm not jealous. She said, but I envy. I want people to come to me. I want people to seek me out. And this week, they sought her out.
Right.
and we actually were on the phone crying. We were so happy.
And you can't even train that. It is a manifestation in your life of the intent of investing.
Yes.
That's it. It is investing and training and coaching. It's a building block. It is a compound effect. I can't teach that. What happens is when we teach, when we collaborate, when we empower, when we inspire, then we manifest that.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
and I got to tell you that when she told me that, she said, I want people to come to me like that. And I told her, and I listened with passion, I listened with compassion, and I said, and I knew it was time, and I said, okay, now it's time to invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to invest in yourself. And she made a small investment, but it has manifested, it has grown, it has compounded, it has just blown up, really. So it's been huge, and she already will tell you that she that's something that she's going to recommend on her team. You need to take social media, you need to take breakthrough, you need to take new distributor training if you want to be successful. If you want to know, if you don't want to walk around with a question mark on your face, because we walked around with a question mark for many, many months. Me for probably 8-9 months, not knowing what to do, not knowing where I was going. I didn't want to quit, but Kebie, I was close. I was close because that culture did not fit me. And this fits me 100%. Yeah.
Well, we're going to exit. Thank you so much for watching, Vicki. Thank you for sharing. You, Helen, thank you so much for sharing your story, speaking from your heart. I'm truly grateful. Guys, get yourself invested into training. Lock into the new distributor training, which is also called Creating Culture and Duplication. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to lock arms. We're going to build it big. We're going to empower. We're going to inspire. You'll either watch or you'll make that investment, make that commitment, and do something big for your family. I hope you partner with us. I hope you join us. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kebie. Bye-bye.